Welcome back to Pattern, everybody. Now, you might have seen these videos. I've been, like, mesmerized here.
Literally during the commercial break,
media.
Jordan was like, Abrams, turn around.
Look
You
how
got to see
cool
how cool
it is. We're floating in the ocean.
Oh, it was a stingray.
Anyway, they're so cool. It doesn't even seem real. It is. Not only is it a real turtle, but it's actually part of a project that's helping conservation efforts.
Nathan Robinson is a researcher with Spanish National Research Council, joining us now to talk more about this. And we just love these videos. So the first question everyone wants to know is, how are we getting these beautiful videos?
Well, hi, Stephanie. Hi, Jordan. Thanks for talking today. We're getting these videos from something we call a turtle cam, which is this. It's a dive camera that we did a couple of tweaks to that we're able to temporarily mount onto the shells of sea turtles. So they can swim around the world, swim around the oceans, living their lives as normal. And then after a few hours, the cameras harmlessly pop off. We recover the camera, and that's how we get a little insight into their lives.
Now, I've been hearing stories about how you could have, like, a live turtle cam. Do you have live images coming off of these turtles sometimes?
Well, I think technologically there might be a way, but the easiest way to do it is just have it so that when the camera pops off, that's when you download. So
that makes more sense.
The exciting moments happens afterwards when you start to review the footage.
Yes, that makes more sense.
All right, so as we mentioned, there is a purpose, obviously, behind the project, not just to get cool video that we can all look at here. Really, it's about how these turtles interact with plastic in the ocean. So what exactly are you finding?
We started this project, well, it actually has two goals. One goal is just to share these awesome images. So much of conservation is about getting people who don't normally have access to the ocean excited about marine conservation, because the amount of plastic we produce and consume wherever we are in the world affects the oceans. So that is actually an important part of this project. But from a scientific perspective, we want to start using these cameras to investigate how sea turtles were, how much plastic they were encountering in the oceans, and how they would interact with that plastic. Maybe they eat all plastic they see. Maybe there's only certain plastics that they're eating. So we deployed the cameras to study this phenomenon. But funnily enough, we actually found very little plastic in the habitats where we were studying these animals. We were studying them in the Bahamas, and the habitats were almost pristine. So we instead got lots of wonderful information about what they're feeding on, where they live, where they spend their time, but also their social lives. We didn't really think of sea turtles as that social, but from our footage, a sea turtle can barely swim past another sea turtle without coming by, checking it out, and interacting in some way.
Oh, I saw one of them kind of gave the other one a little nudge.
Oh, really? Like,
yeah.
You're a little upset?
Well, he walked by him and gave him a little pop like that. It was
so
funny.
I think that it was really amazing what you said, how you would go into it thinking that you were going to get all this footage of them reacting to plastic, but then you found very little plastic in that specific habitat.
Exactly. It was, I mean, it's kind of like one of the wonderful discoveries of this project was we kind of think of sea turtles interacting plastic everywhere. We think the ocean is incredibly polluted, but it's mainly focused in certain habitats. And where these animals are is almost, at least in regards to plastic.
Yeah, more plastic free.
Well, they're lucky
That's
then.
good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Now, recently we saw this information that, well, we know that sea turtle gender is based on temperature. And so are we expecting more female turtles with these warmer waters? And how is that going to impact the species as a whole?
Yes, that's a wonderful question. So sea turtles are going to be affected in this double whammy by increasing temperatures. Number one, so first off, sea turtles nest on land, they nest on beaches. And the temperature of the nest is dictated by the temperature of the sand, dictated by the temperature of the air. And as that temperature gets warmer, the amount of eggs that are able to successfully hatch decreases. So you have a reduction in hatching success. But then you also have this feminizing of the population, because the temperature during incubation determines whether they're males and females. And the easy way to remember it is hot chicks, cool dudes, because warm temperatures produce females, cold produce male. But as temperatures are continually getting warmer, what we'll probably start to see is this increasing, the proportion of females in a population, which is great because one male can mate with several females, but there's a point at which it becomes limiting and you'll start to see population crashes. So around the world, we've seen lots of instances of, say, a slow feminization, but we're very worried about when they can start to hit that dangerous level when there's just not enough males to fertilize the females.
Super interesting.
So real quick, thumbs up, thumbs down, how's the population doing right now? In the middle?
Ooh. Let's say middle.
Okay.
Sea turtles, there's 7 species worldwide in different
Yeah.
areas, and some populations are doing great. They're really recovering. Some of the loggerhead sea turtle population story in the US, there's great roots, some of them in the Mediterranean as well. In other areas, they're going down. So let's give it a middle ground.
The better question is, did you guys find Nemo? Did you see
you
Nemo
find
on
Nemo
these
or
cameras?
Brad?
Yeah, I'm
We're
just
still
kidding.
looking.
I had to ask Nathan. I couldn't help myself. Nathan
you.
Robinson, researcher with the Spanish National Research Council. Thank you so much for joining us
They're
today.
riding the EAC together.